Hello, John Talley here with Partzilla.com. Today I'm going to walk you through the process to swap out the secondary air filter on our 2016 Yamaha YXZ1000R. Now, Yamaha recommends that you do this every 1,200 to 3,000 miles. Now, granted, if you don't keep your primary filter clean, you probably have to do it more often than that. Now, the filter that we're going to use is actually made by GYTR, and that's the performance division of Yamaha. So you're not going to find it on your regular diagrams that we have. And by the way, why don't you look up the diagram for this particular unit, and this is going to give you a very exact picture of how things should go back together. Now, as far as the tools that we're going to use, it's going to be mostly standard tools, and we're going to have to use a couple of different swivels and extensions to reach those 11 8mm bolts that are holding the back side of the air intake enclosure, which is holding this inside. So if you're ready, I'll go gather up my tools and we'll dive into this. All right, guys. If you follow the Yamaha manual, you're supposed to pull the bed, and to do that, you have to pull the fenders, the roof, the structure, the seats. I mean, the list just goes on, and what we're trying to get to is just this cover right here. Now, it's actually held in place, as I said earlier, by 11 8mm screws that go around the perimeter of it. Now, what we're going to do is attack it with a couple of different screwdrivers, this 8mm on a swivel, and I think we can get all of those out without having to disassemble the entire machine. Let's start by getting this rear cover off. It just has some speed clips holding it in. And let the count begin. We'll get to the ones we can up top, and then go below and start knocking the other ones out. Now, as you can tell, this one's sitting up in the air, no tires on it, and a lot of things have already been removed. Don't worry about that, because there's so many other projects that we're working on, I'm not going to take it apart and put it back together over and over again. So just follow what I'm actually taking off at this point of the game, and you'll be okay. The way I'm doing this is to use, well, actually two good length extensions with one swivel, and you'll notice that I have tape around the swivel joint. The reason I do that is to where this is more manageable as far as holding it in position. And that makes it easier for it actually to get on the head of the bolt when I can't actually get my hands up in there to guide it. Little inside trick there. We've got the 10 that are removed around the perimeter, and number 11 is right down in there. But before we pull that one, let's go ahead and remove this clamp and this hose. There's one thing I didn't note when we started over here. I'd already removed this lower cover for the oil tank. There's only 3 10mm that hold it in place, and then it'll drop out of the way, and that'll give you some more room to work. Number 11. We are almost there, guys, but there is one more bolt that we need to get to that holds part of the catch tank onto the rear subframe. We just need to take out that bolt, which is a 12mm, and then that'll give us enough room to move it out of the way and then remove the cover. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what this filter looks like, because I'm betting this one's never been touched. And I know this is really close quarters, but this is a whole lot quicker than removing basically the entire upper structure and the bed. I think the only unit that's more complicated than this to change out an air filter on will be a Honda Goldwing. Which, by the way, if you need to watch that video, we did it as well. Now, let's see if we can get it to wiggle out. That's not a good sign. There's actually oil inside of the airbox. That tells me it's going to look pretty rough in there. Ooh. Yeah. This is bad. This is as bad as it gets. Well, I don't want to say that. This is as bad as I've seen, so this was definitely worth the time. Well guys, there's basically a red sandcastle up inside the airbox, and I just don't want to throw dirt everywhere. So we're going to actually get out a shop vac and see if we can extract all of that out of there. What we're going to do next is go ahead and plug up the end of these intakes and get out the brake cleaner. Now hopefully yours look nothing like this on the inside. Well, now that I'm seeing pink elephants, let's get this thing wiped out and get it put back together. It had spit up a little bit of oil into the intake, and it had gathered at the bottom of the airbox itself. They know that's going to happen, and they give you this little tube that you can remove and dump that out. Yeah. Now, let's go ahead and get our filter in, finally. And on this one, although it is not a K&N filter, we are going to go ahead and oil it. Get that cover reattached and get those 11 bolts put back in. I'll start down here. These ones on the back side, ones that you can't see, pretty much just have to do it by feel. The good part is they go into the plastic far enough where they can hold themselves in place until you can get the socket up there. It's just a matter of getting them started. Now there's one more left up top, but I want to go ahead and get that one dead center. Show you a little trick here. What we're going to do is use just a little bit of tape on the edge of that screw so the socket can hold it, and then we can guide it in place. But you don't want to roll it over the edge, otherwise, guess what? When you tighten it down, the socket's going to stay in there. "101 Tricks with Electrical Tape" by John Talley. Let's go ahead and reconnect this vent slash breather. Alright, we're down to remounting that little catch tank. One more 8mm bolt and then it's pretty much game over, guys. I always try to start and then end with the easiest one. Well, alright guys, that's pretty much going to wrap this one up. The only thing you have left to do is get that cover on and maybe get your tire reinstalled. Well, listen, if you need these or any other parts for your machine, why don't you come see us at Partzilla.com and we can get you taken care of. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the section below and I'll do my best to answer them. And hey, if you like what you see and you want to see me to continue work on this, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified when we drop the next video. We just want to say thank you for shopping here with us at Partzilla, and we will see you in the next video. Y'all have a great day.